Hi, everybody. We are here live today. It's September already, and we're getting ready to start into tailgate season. And that's what this episode is about, tailgating without penalty. And say hi. I see we see Jasmine and Kathy. Oh, hey, Kathy. Tiffany, Catherine. Hello, everybody. And I know we have lots more on the call. Let me know if you're pre-op, you're post-op, if you've had weight loss surgery. Oh, hi, Enid. So happy you're here too. We have people that's joining us that's here with us all the time. So let me know how you found out about. Oh, Jasmine says pre-op. Let me know how you guys found out about our forum. We are now starting to do these events within Berry Nation. We've kind of been collaborating with them a little bit, so I'm super excited about that. Let me know if you're with the Berry Nation community as well. Brittany, my colleague, my trusted fellow person and doing everything, is on to a new adventure. She unfortunately won't be here with us on these calls anymore. You guys will have me, you'll have my full attention, but she started a new opportunity with another company. So we wish her the very best, and we're going to miss her. And so it looks like, oh gosh, we have all kinds of people. Sam, hello, 9 weeks bypass, Donna, Ashley, Enid, she's post-op, Azariah, hope I'm saying that right, such a pretty name. Hello, Jasmine from Wellstar. We have a lot of people from Wellstar. I welcome you guys, and we actually had our call last night. Jasmine, were you on the call with us yesterday? Looks like Terry from Emmanuel Bariatric in Omaha. Hello. We're starting to do some things with them too, their weight loss program. So Terry, thank you for joining us, and so happy you're here. Sam, Terry, Lovey. Oh, hi, Lovey. And Jasmine says, no, I wasn't. Okay. So, well, we're glad you're here tonight. Guys, we're going to kind of jump on, and we're going to get started and get this call going. I'm really excited because, you can't hear anything. Let's see. Anybody else can't not hear me? Well, star 2. Oh, hey, Vicki. Let me see if I'm muted. I'm not muted. Anybody else having a problem with volume? Can you guys hear me okay? Please let me know. I'm going to turn my volume up. Ooh, I had it way down. Maybe that was part of the problem. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, so if you cannot hear me for some reason, obviously you're not going to hear this, but I'll put it in the chat. If you can't hear me, re-log on, like go back and log on again. Sometimes that'll help. I don't know why. Sometimes it's crazy like that. So anyways, guys, for those of you who don't know me, before we get started and talking about this topic, just a very brief summary. I'm with the ProCare team. My name is Brenda. I'm a nurse. I have been doing these now for about 2 years, and we're getting a really wonderful community. Lots and lots of support here, guys. If you find that's what you're looking for, these people here in this community are here to help support you. And a couple different things too. So for myself, I actually worked as a bariatric coordinator for several years, and we sold ProCare products out of our clinic, and I got to know ProCare really well. Actually, they did support groups for me way back in the day. So that's my initial meeting with them. And then I kind of started working with them back in 2017-18, doing conferences and going with them, traveling. And then about 2 years ago came in, and a lot of what I do now is these kind of things, support groups, one-on-one, traveling and going to community events and that type of thing. So, says mine still isn't working. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I tell you what, I'm not sure. Check. My computer has a button that mutes. Maybe mine's not muted. I don't know. I feel bad. Try it on your phone. There's a Crowdcast app on your phone. Show you what that looks like. Maybe somebody else is having the same problem. See that little button right there? Crowdcast. You can actually download that app. You can listen on your phone if you are having problems with your computer. That's the only other thing I can say. And yeah, logging back in may help too as well. You guys, today what we're going to be sharing is basically something called tailgating without penalty. And we're going to be kind of talking about three different things. We're going to talk about typical versus alternative menu items for a game. But I also want to say, there's a lot of events coming up from now to the end of the year that you're going to be coming to, like parties and get-togethers between Thanksgiving and Christmas, just lots of things. So we're going to be hitting on those two, some tips, and then also recipes to stay in the game. And I have a big surprise for you, which I'm excited about. I kind of mentioned it on some of our previous calls, but we actually rented an Airbnb and we did some recipe shoots. So I have 3 of them today that we're going to be sharing with you. Each of them are 3 to 5 minutes. So that's going to be, you can hear now. Yay. We're going to be sharing. And I actually got a team shirt on from St. Louis area, St. Louis Blues. I'll be honest, I'm not much of a sports person, but I do like going to games sometime, mostly for the food. Is that terrible? I know. Enid must be a sports fan. She must be a St. Louis Blues fan. I don't know. She's saying yay. Or maybe he's just talking about our videos, our recipe videos. I don't know. So guys, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to be coming back and forth a lot because I can't see the chat box when I'm sharing my screen. And so the very first thing you guys are going to see here is this presentation. And this is what I was kind of talking about. I'm going to go back a couple slides because I also want to just mention I had a contributor to this. Her name is Jennifer Gallardo. And for those of you who may have been on our call yesterday, she actually was a contributor to this presentation. So I want to thank her. She sent me some content and helped me along. So again, we're going to be talking about typical versus alternative meal items. We're going to be talking about tailgating tips for staying healthy. We're going to be talking about recipes to stay in the game. Okay. And we're going to look at a typical tailgating menu. Now, guys, I'm going to just say, if you could eat all this, it would be almost a miracle, because if you've had weight loss surgery, probably the ability to down this much would be a little unlikely. But just to kind of give you an idea, even if you're kind of touching on some of these things. So a chili dog on bun with barbecue ribs, 500 calories. Coleslaw or pasta salad, 300. Baked beans, 200. Iced brownie, 200. Can of soda or beer, 150. So like if you are, like let's say you do go to something and then you end up eating several of these things over a day period. I mean, that's a lot of calories, 1,500. So if you're being mindful about it, we're going to be sharing some things. So the very first thing, we're going to start off right off the bat. We have tips, okay? Tip number 1, bring your own selections, okay? How many of you have used this? I know personally I have. Like if I'm going somewhere and I'm kind of on some kind of plan where I want to try to eat a little healthy, sometimes I'll bring like a vegetable tray, or I'll bring a fruit tray, or something that I've made that is incredible. People aren't going to say, oh, that's diet food, but something good. Okay. And so we got 3 recipes here that we're going to share, and that will allow you to contribute something, but something that you feel really good about, something that you can add into your macros. The 3 recipes we have is zucchini chips in an air fryer. Yay. I love air fryer recipes. Chicken avocado salad roll-ups. Okay. and then buffalo chicken meatballs. So our very first one here is chicken zucchini in the air fryer. And guys, what I'm going to be doing is showing you a YouTube video, and then I will give you the recipe link to that, plus a recipe card, okay? And I'm going to stop sharing for just a second because I want to make sure I don't have any questions or anything in the comment section. Enid, you're a cook. Like, she should be sharing recipes on here. Enid, we're going to have you do that sometime. She's going to be on one of our calls coming up. Maybe that's something we could do. She's always making all kinds of fun stuff all the time. So you guys, we're going to get going here. We're going to start with recipe number 1. Please feel free. At the bottom of here is an ask a question feature. Please feel free. I see some questions already on there. We'll make sure and address those. Oh, actually, it doesn't look like they were questions. Hello. Let's see. Hello from New Brunswick, Canada. Happy to be here. Happy you're here. And then Christy says, I can hear you all fine. So wonderful. Thank you for doing that. And you guys posting questions on the ask a question feature. If you do post something, there'll be timestamps. You can come back and listen to it later, and it'll tell you exactly where your question is being addressed in the replay. So I know these are usually about an hour long, but if for some reason you got to jump off and you want to come back, please feel free to do so. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, here we go. This is recipe number 1, guys. Whoops. Actually, I'm going to stop sharing because I got to press the audio button. Otherwise, you won't hear that at all. Okay. Now we will have audio. Here we go. The first one is our air fryer recipe. And I'm going to make this big. Now, guys, this is a little bit loud in the beginning. So I'm going to turn it down just a tiny bit. And I can turn it back up here in a moment if we need to. Make it full size. And here we go.
Hi, this is Brenda from the ProCare Health Team, and today we're going to be making a healthy appetizer called Air Fry Zucchini. And if you're like me during the summer months, you have lots and lots of zucchini. So this is a great one, and it's healthy not only for you, but your whole family as well. The first thing that you're going to be doing is you're going to cut up some of your zucchini. We also have flour, and you can use any kind of flour that you prefer. This is whole wheat flour, and we have salt and pepper here as well. Okay, next step is we're going to be using some of our eggs and be mixing those up to use as our egg wash. And so we're going to just do a couple of those. And you can actually use as many as you need. It's just basically a wash for the eggs. So, and I'm going to be whisking those up. Throw these away. And I like to get them whisked really, really, really good. And you can pour these into bowls or plates. I'm just going to use plates so that you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Get that out of the way. And then the next is pancakes breadcrumbs. And you can just, these actually have Italian seasoning on them. You can use the plain, or you can use ones that's already been seasoned. And some good old Parmesan cheese. And so I'm just going to kind of mix that up a little bit. I've already started up my air fryer because I like it to get nice and warm before I actually put in my ingredients. So it's all prepared. So I have that set on 375, and it's actually rolling right now as we speak. So step 1 is going to be to take one of the pre-sliced zucchini, and you're going to dip it in the flour mixture, then the egg, and then the pancakes with the Parmesan. So let's go ahead and try one here. It gets pretty messy, so just enjoy yourself while you're doing it. And here we go. I like to make sure it's nice and thick. I like mine with a lot of coating. And then you just put them. I actually have a pan here with my plates that I have for my air fryer. Every air fryer is a little different, but I have these that go in there. So I'm just going to set them directly on there so I can stick them directly into the air fryer itself. Okay, next we're going to be putting these into our preheated air fryer. And again, depending on what kind of air fryer you have, how you place them. Just setting them in there. Okay, I just took these zucchini bites out of the air fryer. They're nice and steaming hot, perfect for serving right away. And I have a nice little serving tray. You can put some garnish and serve them along with your favorite dip, whatever meets your own health goals. You could use some type of ranch dressing, some blue cheese, or some marinara, anything that you'd like. So take a bite.
Okay, guys, what'd you think? Let me know what you thought. So a couple little things to kind of share with you about that. I mean, if you have a garden, I know several of you on this call do, because I've seen pictures of your gardens. Zucchini is like a lot, during the summer. If you have a garden, they produce that, and yellow squash you could do the exact same recipe with. But what I did is, if you do have an abundance of those, what I tend to do is I take them while they're fresh and I slice them up just like in those little circular patterns like we had in the video. And then I actually flash freeze them. I put them on parchment paper, put them on a sheet, and I put them in the freezer for about a day or so. And then I vacuum packet them, or you can put them in a Ziploc. And then you can use the same recipe. It's amazing. Donna says, I'll be trying that. It is so good. And honestly, you can do it with so many different things. You can do it with green beans. I know that sounds crazy. Like, if you could take green beans, you know how people fry green beans. You can do it with, I'm trying to think, mushrooms. You could do it with almost any kind of vegetable that you would normally have a fried version. The extra step with the egg wash is something that sometimes does kind of make it a little bit more complicated, but it kind of gives it a little bit more coating. But you can even just do the flour coating. You can use a wheat flour. You can use whatever kind of coating is good for your own diet, plan. Let's see. Kathy says, do you have a work around for the panko breadcrumbs, or do you count that for your 1-a-day complex carb? You can actually, like I said, you can actually skip that step. You don't have to you could just do your egg wash and then either the panko breadcrumbs or the flour. You wouldn't have to do both. Or if you just even wanted to skip the egg, you could just dip them in flour. The only thing is the egg wash actually adds, it does add some volume to it. It helps, and it helps everything kind of stick together better. The spray that you guys saw me use at the end, I've got that spray bottle from my mother-in-law for a Christmas gift, and I never realized in a lifetime that I would use it so much. I use it all the time. So all it is olive oil, and I put just a couple little spritzes on it, and it helps whenever you put something in the air fryer. Sometimes it's a little bit more dry. Levy says, or use ground up pork rinds. Oh, how do you make those? I've never even, I see what you're saying. Ground up pork rinds for, instead of the panko breadcrumbs. Anybody else have any suggestions? That's a great one. Kathy says, have you tried nuts as a substitute? Oh, I bet that would be really good too. You could put it in a food processor, make it really small, and give it a lot of extra crunch. Thank you for that. No, I've never tried that, but that sounds really good. Well, guys, keep commenting here. I'm going to actually share the links for both that air fryer recipe on our YouTube channel. You guys probably didn't even know we had a YouTube channel. We don't have the biggest following there. We just don't even advertise it, but we use it for videos and such. So here is the zoo. Let's see, I'm making sure I'm spelling it right. Whoops. zucchini chips. I hope I'm spelling it right. Sorry, you guys. I usually had Brittany on here. Now I'm really missing her for doing all this extra little stuff, the little extra steps here. I don't know. I'm frozen. I'm going to take a deep breath because, sorry, there we go. Zucchini chips. Okay, first link I'm sharing, and that's the YouTube video. And then the second link here that I'm sharing is actually the recipe card. Okay, guys? So, sharing that. Okay. Card. Thanks for being patient with me. Okay. Here we go. Okay, next thing we're going to do here is I'm going to show you guys recipe for our chicken roll-ups, chicken avocado roll-ups. And this video is about 5 minutes, so it's just a tiny bit longer. And let me know in the meantime, have any of you made chicken roll-ups? I'd love to hear, okay? So stay with me here. And thank you, Enid. Okay, here we go, guys. I'm going to share my audio again. I'm going to jump onto the video. And I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to turn it down just a tiny, tiny bit because it was kind of loud. Okay, and I'm going to make that big. Here we go, guys.
Today we're starting off with chicken avocado salad roll-ups, and one of my favorites. And so we're going to kind of just lead you step by step on how to do that. Okay, the first step is to take your chicken and to either cut it up very small in fine pieces or to put it in a food processor. I like to personally purchase the rotisserie chickens that you can buy that's already cooked. It just makes it really easy, and to remove all the skin and to chop. I chopped mine up really fine. I'm actually going to put it in the food processor because it will mince it up just a little bit more. But you can also just purchase regular chicken breast and bake them yourself, whatever's easiest for you. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and assemble all the ingredients together. And I'm just going to be putting in the pre-measured ingredients are in the recipe. I'm just going to be putting in those. Now, the recipe actually calls for an avocado, but I did not have an avocado at home. I just had some of this pre-mixed avocado sauce, so you could use that as well. I'm going to use some Greek yogurt. So good. I'm going to put some of that in here. And you can always add more later if you feel like you need a little bit more for consistency. But Greek yogurt has a lot of protein in it. I'm going to put some lime juice here in it. Put a little bit of onion. You can add more or less to your liking. Some green onions. A little bit of salt. And the recipe doesn't have pepper, but I'm going to add just a little bit of that too as well. I love garlic powder. Put some garlic powder in there. Some cilantro. We already have this cut up, so I'm just adding it here. Add as much as you like. And then some cheddar cheese. Okay, now we're going to get it all mixed up here. And you don't want it necessarily runny, but you want it enough so that you can easily spread it into the rolls. Okay, it's looking really good, guys. I wish you could smell this. It smells great. Okay, next we're going to assemble our roll-ups. And so basically we have this all mixed up really, really good. And we're going to take the mixture and you can kind of be pretty sloppy with it. You don't have to, doesn't have to be perfect. And you're just going to basically take it and put it on the roll. You don't want to get it too thick so that it won't roll up, but enough so that you have good coverage. Then you're going to start from one end and just roll. And as you go, bring them forward. Now I'm going to actually set these in a roll, and I'm going to put them in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes so that they firm up and they're a lot easier to cut. When you put them down, if you can kind of edge them against the side of the bowl there so they don't fall apart, it's helpful. And put the roll side down so that you don't have it flipping open on you. So we're going to do a couple of these here. Okay, we're all done with making our roll-ups, and what we're going to do is just basically cover those with saran wrap, and we're going to put them in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, and then we can cut them up at that point into small little bite-sized pieces for serving. You can actually cut them up immediately. It's just that they don't stay as firm, and they're just a little easier to manage if you have them in the refrigerator for a short period of time. Okay, we just took them out of the refrigerator. They're nice and firmed up. And what we're going to do now is cut them up into serving size bites. Now, the very ends of these sometimes won't have as much, so you can kind of either use those or you can kind of set them to the side either way. And you can pick the size that you want. If you keep your knife kind of upright and basically cutting downward, you can do this at a really good angle. And my ends like that, that's kind of flat, I'm going to keep those over to this side. And basically just kind of stacking them on your plate. Put them however you like. There you have it. We have our chicken avocado salad roll-ups. Great for any party or picnic, any type of appetizer. It's healthy and it's packed with protein.
Okay, guys, that was the next one. I'm going to downsize, kind of come back to you here. Okay, so that recipe, guys, some things I just wanted to say and mention. You know, I made it with chicken. And as I mentioned in the video, one of the best ways for me, easiest, is to just buy a rotisserie chicken, take all the skin off and cut it up. But you can also just bake your own chicken in the oven. You could also substitute out that and leave it completely out and just use the other ingredients, make it vegetarian, or you could use something like ham. You can make something with like salmon. You could make it with tuna, whatever other type of meat product you wanted to use. Or you could just, like I said, make it vegetarian. I made some notes here while we were talking because I wanted to make sure and mention all these. Avocado. So avocado is something some people like, some people don't. If you're not a big avocado fan, you don't have to add that. I actually used avocado that was already cut up just to make it easy, but you could actually, you know, make lovey. You could also, you know, the avocado, you could actually, you know, mash it up yourself if that's something you want to do. I added in the lime juice because if you add in some vegetables like avocado, a lot of times they'll get brown unless you add lemon or lime juice along with that. The Greek yogurt. That Greek yogurt on a lot of avocado in a lot of roll-up recipes, you'll see a lot of cream cheese. So that could be a substitute if you wanted to use a low-fat cream cheese, or you could use the Greek yogurt. The Greek yogurt, personally for me, I like because it is less calories and a lot more protein. So also the onions. Some people like onions, some don't. So you could also substitute those or leave them out or leave them in. Same with cilantro. The cheese, you could add different flavors of cheese if you wanted to do that. You can also add other vegetables. You know, you could add something like corn, or chop up carrots really fine or celery really fine, whatever kind of vegetables you like. There's thousands of recipes out there, guys. Let me know if you've actually made a roll up before and maybe what you made it with. Give everybody some ideas of different variations. I'd love to hear that. So in the meantime, while you guys are doing that, we have one more little video for you. I'm going to real quickly copy, though, that chicken avocado recipe. Let me copy it. Give me 1 minute here with doing that. So, okay. I'm copying the YouTube link first, and then I'll copy the recipe link for the card. I'm looking forward to hearing if anybody else has any variations or any questions about that, because guys probably have some good stuff to offer here too. Okay. Takes me a second. Next time when I do this as a copy, I'll copy all these ahead of time and just have them ready to paste. I'm having to go back to the link. So here is the chicken avocado recipe card. Okay, and you can open that up in another link. So you have it for later. Oops. There you go. Kathy says, I use cauliflower wraps on the egg wraps instead of tortillas, fewer complex carbs. Oh, I didn't know there was such a thing as a cauliflower wrap. That's so interesting. And I'm so glad you brought that up because tortilla shells. I actually did this presentation last night for another support group. And we were talking about all the variations of tortillas. And my daughter laughs at me when I say that word because I can't say it correctly, I guess. But there's so many different variations. You know, if you go to some place like Walmart or Aldi's or wherever you go do your shopping, a lot of times you can find higher variations of tortilla, like those soft shells. Or I didn't even realize there was a cauliflower wrap. That's pretty cool. You can also use those, guys. If we're talking about recipes here, one of the things that was mentioned last night is using those for pizzas. And I think that's a fantastic idea. You know, I've used it myself for pizzas. And actually we have a pizza video on our YouTube channel. It's called From Our Bariatric Pizza Party. Some of you may have watched that with me. But one of our recipes with that is using a shell like that. We also use one with a mushroom, like a big, why my mind's going blank, a big mushroom, and we put sauce on it, or we use a cauliflower mushroom cauliflower pizza crust. Okay, so we're going to kind of go on, and I'm going to share my screen again here. Make sure I get the audio, and we're going on to number 3, which is our buffalo chicken meatballs. Okay, guys, so I'm going to upsize and
Hi, it's Brenda from ProCare Health, and today we're going to be making chicken buffalo meatballs. The first thing that you're going to do is be adding your ingredients, and we have a link below for the recipe, so click onto that to see all the amounts. We have chicken, so we're going to be adding that, and we have an egg. I'm going to kind of mix that up just a little bit first, get that egg dissolved with the chicken. We have flour. We have green onions. And of course, we got to add our garlic. Add some extra flavor in there. And our buffalo sauce. You can use whatever kind you'd like. Today I have Frank's Red Hot sauce. And I kind of like mild. I'm not into the real spicy stuff. So we're just going to really mix that up good. And probably the best way to do it is honestly just with your hands, because it's going to be a pretty thick mixture. Okay, next we're going to be scooping out our chicken and placing it on our baking dish. I like to use parchment paper to keep things from sticking. And a little pro tip, I have a little scooper that I'm going to be using to kind of make them the same size. And just placing them onto baking dish. We reserve some of the hot sauce in order to use for dipping them after they come out of the oven. Okay, we just got these nice little buffalo bites out of the oven, and we're going to coat them with some additional buffalo sauce. I've also cut up some celery sticks and made a side of blue cheese dressing, which is great with buffalo sauce. We have the recipe in the link below as well. And so I'm just going to take some of the same sauce and pour it in a bowl. And now we're just going to take all of the buffalo bites and we're going to put them inside the bowl. Let's get them nice and good coated. They stuck together really well. They smell delicious. Wish you guys were here to smell them with me. And pour a little bit more over the top and stir it up good. Just kind of be gentle with them so they don't fall apart. Okay, here we have them, our buffalo chicken meatballs. They look so good. And again, you can serve it with blue cheese dressing. We have the link for that below. And some celery sticks. Just looks so good.
Okay, guys. So that was buffalo chicken meatballs. And I'm going to be copying the recipes here and putting them in the chat box too. I just want to say too, there's substitutions for this and this one as well. You know, you could vary the chicken to tuna or salmon or whatever. You could, if you're not a big onion fan, you could leave out the green onions, or you could add just spices to it. I personally am. I love the onions. And the buffalo sauce, I do want to say, some people are really sensitive to spicy stuff. So if that's you, you could leave out the sauce altogether. You do not have to have that for this recipe. It might be a little bit drier. You could substitute with a different sauce if you wanted. I know I was looking up healthy barbecue sauces, because that's another one. And there's recipes out there for that. I know the one that I just found had some tomato sauce. You put a little bit of maple syrup in with Worcestershire, apple cider vinegar, liquid smoke, and garlic powder. So you could look up variations for healthy sauces if you thought that might be helpful. So the meatballs, I'm going to copy and paste that here real quick. The first thing you're going to see is the recipe, the YouTube video. So I'm going to copy and paste that. Okay, and then I'm going to copy and paste the recipe card. Now, along with the recipe card, I'm going to actually show that to you, because at the bottom, we actually have another type of dip. Give me 1 second here. I'll give you a surprise. It's actually a blue cheese. Okay, so let me share my screen on that so that you can see that, what you'll be getting on that, and what that looks like. So here is the buffalo chicken meatballs with the recipe, and below that is a blue cheese dip. Has blue cheese, crumbled blue cheese, almond milk, Greek yogurt, red or white vinegar, garlic powder, and salt. Okay, and we actually made that. It was, for whatever reason, it didn't make the video cut. I'm going to stop sharing it. But I will tell you that actually the day we made it, I wasn't a big fan. But we put it in the refrigerator and we let it sit overnight, and it collected all of those flavors together. And by the next day, it was amazing. Like, I really did like that. So that's a cool little variation, especially if you're not wanting to. You could use, if you had the buffalo sauce, you could use it with the dip, or you could just use the buffalo dip. See if we have any more questions here. Make sure. Okay. Have you always loved to cook? Any cookbooks you recommend for beginners? So that was from Karen. I think I have. I think I've always really liked to cook. Growing up, I grew up in Southeast Missouri. I'm a Southerner, lots of South recipes. My mom cooked every meal. Like she actually hardly bought any groceries, believe it or not. Like, most of what we ate honestly came from the farm. It really did, seriously. And I'm still kind of like that. I guess I just kind of how I grew up. She canned, we had a whole room full of canned vegetables. Like, she canned almost everything under the sun: corn, carrots, beets, green beans, everything you can think of. And then we had cattle. So we had all of, the meat from the cattle. We also had pigs. We had a pig farm. And I don't know, we basically lived off that. As far as cookbooks, really and truly, my biggest go-to, I have cookbooks at home and I've used them, but my serious best go-to now is Pinterest. I don't know if anybody else is a fan. I actually use the app on my phone. Looks like that. It's Pinterest. Whoops, that's just going to bring up my profile. It looks like that little pin. And I get tons of recipes off there. I mean, there's just lots and lots. Or I just Google, just because it's so easy. And then I just use my phone whenever I'm cooking. But I'm one of those people who just kind of throw in stuff. So I don't do a lot of measuring. The recipe cards do have measurements on those. I know we didn't talk about measurements in the videos. And it looks like Jasmine said, Pinterest is great. Yeah. Anybody else have any recommendations for great cookbooks or places that you look for recipes? I'd love to hear it. ProCare Health, our sponsor, is actually we're in the process of making a recipe page for bariatric surgery patients. I'm looking forward to that. We've been working really hard on it. So look forward to lots and lots of more recipes. In the meantime, guys, on our ProCare Health website, I'll show you that real quick. We actually have, if you type in www.procarenow.com, up here under this About Us tab, right here, support group handouts, we have a whole section at the very beginning on recipes. So some extra things there too as well. Just thought I'd show you that. But we will be having a recipe page coming up soon. And okay, so let's keep going with our presentation. I'm going to be sharing my screen here again, and we're going to go back to our tips, okay, for our presentation, and that is up here. So we're going to go to this next slide, which is tip number 2, healthy tailgating tip number 2, be aware of portion size. And so the problem can be you overload your plate and push your capacity. So make sure you I like using, instead of using a regular size plate, actually using a little dessert plate, because you're not putting as much on it. Another big thing that I like to do is if there's a lot of things, like let's say you have a buffet, if you're going to a party like tailgating, or if you're going to somebody's house and just friends party, that type of thing, or family, I like to just take a very small dab of whatever it is I want to try and put it on my plate. Now, whenever I get ready to start eating, sometimes I won't even try everything. They look really good whenever I'm like looking at them in the beginning. And it's okay not to eat everything on your plate. Like a lot of times we think we have to eat everything. No, you don't have to. And you can always go back if you feel like you need more. But most of the time after you finish eating that very small amount, most of the time it's all about just getting a taste of something. So here's some other ideas: chicken kebabs, black bean and corn salsa. Now, guys, we did that again was one of the things we were going to make a video on, but unfortunately it didn't make the cut. But there are tons of black bean and corn salsa recipes. Basically, it is super easy. It's just what it looks like there in that picture. Onions and black beans and corn, tomatoes, some cilantro, and you can use with chips, or honestly, I like to eat it just by itself. If you type in black bean and corn salsa recipe on Google, you can get lots of recipes, basically all about the same. Super healthy too. Hummus dip, and on the bottom here are blue cheese dressing. So I'm going to kind of go on to the next slide here. Tip number 3, focus on your eating technique. So problem, you eat too fast, too much, or forget to chew your food well. And guys, this is just a reminder. I think this is one of the biggest things. I know, and some of you may have heard me say this before on some of our previous programs. I think with bariatric surgery patients, the biggest things we need to be reminded of is those 3 things, because what happens is after weight loss surgery, if you eat too fast or don't chew your food good or eat too much, you get really uncomfortable. Most of you have had that feeling if you've had bariatric surgery at some point, and it's not fun. You just don't want to experience that. So I know patients have told us, as being a provider before, that they get sick to their stomach after surgery. And one of the biggest things we realized was we were doing a bunch of extra testing on patients after surgery, be thinking that maybe something anatomically was wrong because it was such a common result. But we found was normally everything was normal. And it was just that those 3 things, they were either eating too much, eating too fast, forgetting to chew, and things were not digesting well. So sit down to eat if you can, or just move yourself away from the food, like physically, because I know for me, if I'm sitting by the food, I want to keep eating on it, and that makes it hard to stop. Cut food into smaller pieces so that it's easier to chew up, because if you put a large piece of food in your mouth, and you don't chew it as well, it's very hard to get that to digest, and it kind of just sits there. It can make you uncomfortable. So those are just some little reminders. And I'm going to pause for 1 second. I just want to check to make sure there's no comments before I move on to tip number 4. Okay. So it looks like Lovey says she just got a new cookbook that says, Eat Your Way to Success and Learn How to Control Hunger. It's a weight loss friendly available on Amazon. Okay. So it looks like it's on Amazon. I just type in on Amazon, Eat Your Way to Success and Learn How to Control Hunger, and I bet you can find it. Is that right, Lovey? Yeah, Amazon's a great place too to find books as far as weight loss surgery. Sometimes you just have to have those tag words like weight loss surgery, bariatric surgery, recipes, that type of thing. And those tags will help you pull up what you need. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again. We're going to go back to the presentation. And tip number 4, everyone around you is drinking alcohol and you want to feel social. So I totally get it. I know a lot of programs will have different recommendations regarding alcohol. Some say no, never. Some say, for the first 3 months. Some say 6 months. Some say a year. When I had bariatric surgery, the surgeon I worked with recommended waiting a year. Okay. And that's actually what I did. I waited a full year before having anything to drink. I may have been a few days shy of that, but it was hard. I'm not going to lie. I live in a small town where everybody likes to drink, and it's a very social thing to do. So to me, what helped me the very, very most is keeping something with me in my hand, like a water bottle, or maybe it's a cup, a solo cup that looks like a drink, having something in it. You can flavor it if it helps you to feel a little bit more party or festive. You could put some fruit in it. You could put some people call it Milo. I think it's the little squirt stuff that has 0 calories that you squirt in it, like flavor it up. But something just to make it feel good. And then you're getting all your extra fluids in too, because I tend to drink a lot more liquids when I'm in a social thing. Like if I have something in my hand, like a water, I'm sitting there sipping on it. I think it's almost like a habit thing, you know? So that's just a big thing. Anybody else have any tips that they want to say? Put them in the chat box as far as drinking. And I'll share those here in a moment. So we're at the end. I want to say thank you for that. And I want to thank my content creator, Jennifer Gallardo from HCA Houston Healthcare. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen there. I'm going to go back. Just see if we have any comments. Anybody has anything to say? Any other good suggestions for tailgating? I know we didn't have any really big grilling recipes, but I would say grilling is a lot of times a big thing if you're outside and you're doing things. And you can do all different kinds of wonderful proteins. I mean, grilled chicken, hamburgers would be good on the grill. Anything else you guys want to say that would be really delicious for tailgating? In the meantime, I want to thank each of you guys for being here with us at this support group tonight. And I just want to kind of thank our sponsor again, ProCare Health. The support group handouts are here at the bottom, but I did put the links within everything else. I'm going to kind of share a little promotion that we have going on. Oh, veggie burgers. Hadn't thought about that. Grilled veggie skewers. Good suggestions, guys. Keep them coming. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you a little special promotion that's going on right now on our ProCare channel. Click on that. Copy the link for you guys. Bundle and save. Right now we're offering protein powder, our new bariatric multivitamin 2, and our mocktails for $74.99 because we want as many people to be able to try them. Has anybody got to try them yet? The protein chocolate, absolutely love. I want to hear if any of you guys have tried it, what your thoughts are on it. The multi-chews have become my newest favorite for my multivitamin. If you've not had weight loss surgery, they're 1 a day, or if you've had a lap band. If you've had a sleeve procedure, it's 2 a day. And if you've had a bypass, it's 3 a day. If you've had a duodenal switch, it's 4 a day. And I'm going to kind of show you what they look like. Hope you guys can see me because I know I'm small. Let me stop sharing for a second. And okay, this is what they look like in the bottle. Okay. Oh, Robin says I'm buffering. I'm sorry. Sometimes my screen does that. Oh my God, you guys got lots of ideas. Burger, grilled veggies, skewers, burgers using lettuce as the bread, hot dog, sausage on a stick, no bun. I like that. Wings. Oh, that sounds good. So here's one of our new multivitamins. I want to show you how chewy they look. They're almost like taffy. They're so good. They're good. Absolutely love them. Don't make me nauseated either. So that's one of our newest products. And then our mocktails, which was the other thing on there. I'm looking for my bag. It's hidden. I'm getting caught by my earphone. These are the new mocktails, and they look somewhat similar in appearance. So we're talking about alcohol. These do not have alcohol in them, but they're made to taste like different kinds of drinks. We have lemon drop, gin and tonic, and strawberry daiquiri. This is actually the gin and tonic flavor. Show you what those look like. They're not quite as stretchy, but they still do have some stretch to them. They're real soft, but they're 500 IU of calcium and 500 IU of vitamin D. So that's our little promotion. I will copy and paste the ProCare site in case any of you guys want to check that out. I'm pasting right here. So I want to thank each of you. We're actually getting done a little early. Let me make sure there's no questions. Okay. Oh, so Ronnie says, I can't eat burger meat since having surgery 5 years ago. Oh, I totally understand. A lot of times people will have problems with different kinds of meats or proteins or certain types of foods just digesting well. For me, right after surgery, I had a real problem with really fibrous meats like steak or pork. Early on, a lot of times people have problems with eggs too. Now, it does know, Ronnie, I don't know if you've ever tried eating burger meat since then. I know for me now, since I'm a little further out, I'm doing better with that kind of stuff. I just need to make sure I chew it really well. Let me know. Oh, thanks, Lovey. Robin says, thank you for the information. You are most welcome. And Pauline says, how often are these webinars? We actually have these every single every single week. We have live events and all kinds of topics. And then these support groups like this, which is fairly similar to being the same thing, we hold once a month. And they're usually the third Thursday of the month. So on our platform, I just want to mention too, we're getting ready to move to a new Crowdcast update, and our webpage will be changing. So if you guys follow us, you'll receive updates. I'll show you how to follow us, receive updates on the new links, and you'll be added into the new platform. Let me share my screen here real quickly, and I will show you how to do that. So go here. I will paste and copy the link. So this is our old platform, our new platform. I'm going to go to our channel. When you come to our platform right now, this is the page that you're going to see. And right here where it says edit, there should be a follow button, and you can follow us so that you can continuously get updates. Copy this right now. That link that is here will actually be changing to one that has a little @ sign. So our new channel, we haven't updated the new Try V2. We haven't updated the picture or any of that on there. We've started adding all of our events for October, which aren't going to show up on that old one, but those are all going to be added here. So as soon as I get this link for our new channel updated, I'll be putting that up. It'll be exactly the same as it was before, but it's going to have an @ sign in the box. So I don't mean to confuse anybody right now, but I did want to share, we have lots of events. I'm going to go back to V1 where we are right now. We have tons of events on replay, guys. So these are upcoming events, past events. We have over 100 on replay. So come back and see if there's other ones you want to watch. There's tons there, and those will not disappear when we start our new platform. Those will still continue to show up. Let me paste the link. Okay, I wish I had the new link set up. It's just, we're updating it still. Let's see. Are there any handouts on the site? There sure are. Not on the Crowdcast site, but on our ProCare Health website, the ProCare Now. If you go there and you go under About Us, there's a little drop down. It says Support Group Handouts, and all of our handouts to all of these events are on there. Please add me to it. Add me to it. Okay, Robin, I'm going to give you this link here. I just pasted it for you to do it. I wish I could do it for you, but I can't. I would love to. I'd love to be able to do that. Let me see here. I will paste the link to our ProCare Support Group handout page. I think it's there on that call to action button at the bottom, but just in case, that way you guys have it. Might find other things that you like that you want to look at too. And if you see a handout, there is an event associated with it. So you can look on the channel for that. So I think that's everything. Any other questions? Make sure I have answered everything. Okay. Also, I just want to say too, guys, up in your left-hand corner, there was a question about watching previous recordings. Up in your left-hand corner, if you're watching on a computer, okay, I don't know how it shows up on a phone. I'd have to look. But up on a computer, it says schedule, session 22 of 22, tailgating without penalty. And if I click on that, it's going to give me additional options, okay? So it will show you all of our events that we've had in the past, all the way through October of 2020. as far as support groups in themselves. So if you want to watch more of those, a replay of any of those, feel free to click on any of those and watch those too as well. So that's all I have for now. I want to wish each of you a good evening. And until we meet again, thank you for being here and appreciate your time. It's valuable. If you're coming on as a participant from a facility and you're needing your support, your attendance sent, I will be sending that next week to all the facilities that I send support group attendance to. If you've registered, we have your name, we have your email, and we will send that to them. There's nothing you have to do. Okay. If you have any questions for me, I'm going to leave my email in here. handby@procarenow.com. Thank you, Robin. You have a blessed day too. Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Thank you. Thank you, Enid. Thank